A young man has been found guilty of secessionism and terrorism by a Hong Kong court, the first person to be tried under the territory's sweeping national security law. 24-year-old Tong Ying-kit was arrested after driving his motorbike towards police with a flag declaring "Liberate Hong Kong," and now faces a maximum sentence of life behind bars. Amnesty International condemned the verdict, calling it the beginning of the end for freedom of expression in Hong Kong. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent Jonathan Miller reports.
On day one, under the national security law last July, a 24-year-old biker flying a Liberate Hong Kong flag revved up and ploughed straight into a line of cops. Tong Ying-kit was the first to be arrested under the draconian new law and was the first to stand trial. He was charged with terrorism and inciting secession. He pleaded not guilty, was denied bail, and tried without a jury by 3 judges, hand-picked by Hong Kong's chief executive, herself hand-picked by Big Brother in Beijing. Today, on day 15 of his trial, the young restaurant worker was found guilty of inciting others to commit secession in a 64-page verdict. He'll be sentenced later and could face up to life in jail. On the first day of his trial, there'd been a frenzy in which Tong Ying-kit was briefly visible, arriving at Hong Kong's High Court. Today, Amnesty International said his conviction was an ominous moment for Hong Kong. Expressing political opinions now appears to be a crime.
By effectively putting forward this vague and overly broad law, the Hong Kong authorities now reserve to themselves the right essentially to prosecute any kind of speech that they or the authorities in Beijing don't like.
The slogan, "Liberate Hong Kong," resounded through the streets in the heady days of what seemed like a people's revolution just 2 years ago. The words were plastered everywhere, but Beijing moved concertedly to restore order, in its words. Its commitment to protect Hong Kongers' rights and freedom, now a forgotten fiction. And talking of fiction, the foot soldiers of this new joyless, paranoid police state last week arrested 5 speech therapists, taken away in hoods and handcuffs for publishing 3 children's books about sheep who clubbed together to fight off a pack of wolves who want to eat them in their village, too close to the bone.
These 3 books have a lot of seditious material inside. Just as you mentioned, is to bring the hatred against the government and also inciting the violence.
All the city's major pro-democracy figures, politicians, activists and journalists are either now in jail, have sought asylum, or have been intimidated into silence. China thinks it's won the day.